are going to be talking about fucking Disney. That's what we are. We went to
We're full. And they were like,
see Lola. So yeah, man. Today we are going to be talking about MegaCon.
Yeah, I love.
Yeah, but who the hell cares about wildlife anyway?
Right.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Nerd Archive podcast. Thank you for joining us tonight. We have is it really loud?
7-year-old wanted to go on it, so
Not super, but
Okay.
yeah,
Cut that.
sounds good. I'll see you next week. Thank you.
So we're going to be talking about Ahsoka Part 7 today. So let's but before we get going, we have a previously on. I have not listened to it yet. So let's do this.
Justin's still dead.
What's going on, nerds? This is Ryan. Previously on the Nerd Archive podcast, just like the week before, the nerds are talking about Ahsoka. I bet you can probably guess what they're going to talk about this week. There was no nerdy quote game, and there was no previously on last week since I didn't have any material to work with. But Lola, you did say I could just make fun of you guys, so that's what I'm going to do this week. Let's do a little mini roast of the Nerd Archive podcast. We'll start with you, Lewis. Lewis, you look like you came here on the short boat. Justin, you're a great guy, but man, do you look like the type of person that would own a snake and bring it out in public with him. And Yadi, well, Yadi, if you talk any slower, you're going to end up talking backwards. But even if you did talk backwards, it would still make more sense than when Lewis talks. Speaking of talking, that leads us to Lola, who doesn't talk much at all. Sometimes I forget she's even on the episode. But Lola, I'm going to take it easy on you for this roast. I think growing up with Lewis as a brother was probably punishment enough for one lifetime. Anyways, let's see what the nerds get into this week.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you so much. I know you didn't have much material to go with, so my apologies. I'm so sorry that you are, I don't know how to say this, boring for not watching Ahsoka. I get it. You have no class, and you don't understand being a nerd. I get it. Yet you're part of the Nerd Archive podcast. It's fine. All right, so let's get right into it. Since we don't have Nerdy Quote of the Week, oh yeah, we're missing somebody again.
He's not dead though.
No, he's not dead. All right, so Justin, he is not here. He has COVID, and he feels very ill. So with that being said, let's forget about Justin for a second, and just talk about Ahsoka, which is more important. Justin, love you.
Ahsoka.
Part 7. Go, guys. Please.
I'm trying to remember the name of the part, but was it like dreams? It's something. I don't know. I was. Oh,
I can't hear you.
I actually have surveillance, like security footage of me.
technical difficulties. Nope.
Yay, we're professionals, I promise.
The glove was fused to my
We got this.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Wait,
What
yes.
the hell? I didn't touch anything. I don't know why it cut off.
All right,
Okay.
so cut that out. Let's go.
Ahsoka, part
Ahsoka,
7.
Part 7.
Great episode. Actually, it was all right.
I
You
liked
know who
it.
was there, though?
Who?
Daddy Anakin.
I thought you were going to say Daddy Yankee.
Yeah, me too. I thought you was going to say...
No.
That's like, hey, that's a wrong episode.
No, Daddy Anakin.
I think you were watching Talento de
hologram
Barrio.
form. No,
It got
I was
loud.
not.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. All right.
Better.
I found that the episode was actually a good mix. I think that I liked it a lot, actually. It made me laugh sometimes, and there was good fighting scenes. And Ahsoka is definitely more confident fighting. Ezra doesn't need a lightsaber to fight.
Yeah, that was weird. It was cool, but it was weird.
That was the best part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he got deep in the Force, like what we talked
Yeah.
about in the last our episode. Um, yeah, I think that he definitely got a stronger sense of it.
Yeah. Well, he had 12 years to do jack shit, so might as well, meditate and become one with the Force.
Right. I found that it was
That's
pretty
a good
cool.
point.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I'll leave it for the end of the episode. Go ahead.
Like,
I thought about something while watching this episode, and I was like, I don't know if it's intentional or not, so I wanted to talk to you guys about it.
go for it now.
Okay,
You
so
haven't finished.
how the Sith have the rule of two. Doesn't it seem like the Jedi also have the rule of two in a way? Like
Like the
every
Master and
movie,
Apprentice.
right? It's always Master and Apprentice. There's, in the prequels, there's more Jedi, but it's always focused on Master and Apprentice. And it's always the two. So Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, Obi-Wan and Anakin, Anakin and Ahsoka.
There's a reason for that. It's on purpose. It's because the rule of two for the Sith, so they wanted to make sure that they had the same amount of Jedi going out. So if they ran into a Sith Lord, they knew it was always going to be two, so they were not outmatched.
So basically, they're kind of like dueling partners in a way.
Right. So it's
Okay.
it's the balance to the Force.
That makes sense. Okay, so it was intentional.
Yeah. Am I the only one that see that Balin Skull still having his issues?
Yeah.
You can tell that
Yeah,
he
has
never,
another agenda.
Yeah, you can tell that he was never meant to be bad. He was just surviving.
Yeah,
I think
Yeah.
that's more what it is. And now he sees what's happening, and he's like, "Fuck! I rather had not done this than." I think I sided with the wrong side.
Yeah.
gotcha.
Kind of like that video of Deadpool running away and singing "Here come the consequence."
Yeah.
Like
Um,
that. Those are the
it's-
consequences of your actions. Yes.
Right, because he was fine. Like you could see that he was kind of battling a little bit, not too bad, until the last episode where like Thrawn kind of showed his true side, and Balin Skull is like, "Oh crap!
He's like, this
Yeah.
ain't for me.
Yeah, this is not what I signed up for." So he's probably showing up now. It's like, "Oh man, I'm not gonna do this shit."
Yeah, like when Ahsoka gets into the planet, and she starts fighting him.
Mhm.
Everything happened or whatever, and then the smoke comes through. She's like going away with his ride basically, and he's like, well, fuck.
Yeah, like I'm
What
stuck
am I gonna
now.
do?
And you can see that when we first see the episode, or when the episode first starts, we see that Thrawn knows that somebody's coming, and there's gonna be whales, the peril, the Purgil. They're gonna show up, and he's like, if you see a Purgil, just shoot it. I don't care. Just destroy it. And as soon as Hu Zhang is like, hey, we're about to arrive. And as soon as they arrive, they're like, okay, what's happening out there? Because they can't see anything. They're still in the mouth of the Purgil.
Right.
So
You're doing great, honey.
I
You're
know.
doing great.
It's the 2 glasses of mimosas that I drank before starting. So they're like, I don't know what's happening. Let's get out of here. And Hu Zhang is like, how about no? How about we stay in here?
Yeah.
And then they get out, and they're getting attacked. Not getting attacked. There's literally a
Bunch of mine.
Minefield.
a minefield. And they're like, fuck. And Hujan says, hey, at least we have the cover of the Purgil. And as soon as he says that, they jump into hyperspace.
They're like, okay, bye.
Hey, deuces.
You had to say something.
Yep. And he's like, I was just pointing it out.
Trying to be optimistic.
Right. And in the last episode, our episode, we talked about how, because it was called Far, Far Away, and someone pointed out on TikTok the same thing we said. There was, what if every movie is just told by Hu Yang to whoever? Like, obviously, the first stories are not told to the younglings because they're part of the story. But what if it's in the future? Like, maybe he is with Luke Skywalker in the new academy and he's telling the story of everything that happened. So that's pretty cool that we get to see that. I just wanted to point that out.
It's a great theory, honestly.
Yeah, we weren't the only ones that saw it, and so that's pretty cool. So in this episode, we see that they get Hu Jang and Ahsoka get away from the minefield, and they end up in the
cemetery.
In the cemetery, pretty much. The rim, the outer rim, no pun intended, of the planet, and they're hiding. And all of a sudden,
we're trying to.
Right. And Thrawn asked the witches to find them. And they do. And Thrawn tells his captain, here are the coordinates, flush them out.
And at the same time, we see Ahsoka connecting in the Force to basically find Sabine. And the cool thing is Huyan saying, like, is the bond strong enough? And she's like, of course. And she goes,
she was confident.
She goes at it. Yeah.
That's also something we haven't seen in a while.
That interaction with Anakin definitely, changed the way she acted. Obviously, she's completely different from when we started the show.
Yeah, we're seeing white Ahsoka. We got to see gray Ahsoka in the beginning. So the show is starting to have a mix of story and fight, which is fantastic.
Right. This episode had a good mix of everything.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
So far, what do you guys think of this episode?
I liked it a lot. It made me laugh like quite a bit, and it was entertaining the whole time, at least to me.
Yeah, same here. I'm like what's it called? The relationship between Ahsoka and Hu Yang, and that whole I'm trying to protect them, and at the same time it's like, did I mess up last time? And she's like, yeah. And then he asked her did I seem remorseful? And she's like, absolutely not. So I like that he means well, but at the same time he gives her shit because you have to. Especially in the stuff that Ahsoka's been doing for the past, I don't know, however many years she's been on the run and been the fulcrum. It's been it's a good episode. Yeah, I like it.
And the way it started too is she's straining to old recordings from her master. And I did not see that coming, but you can tell she was not doing it for a while, and then she started now.
She's going back to her roots.
That was the last one. They mentioned that's the last recording of him. But even Huyan didn't know about it.
Right.
So she kept it in the down low for a long time.
Right.
I'm wondering if it was a grief thing or just because she didn't think of herself. Well, yeah. at the whole like Jedi Order and all that stuff if she still hadn't let it go until the past couple episodes that we just watched.
That's a possibility because
into him too.
right.
Yeah.
Because she said that was the recording that we saw was his last recording.
Yeah.
Right.
And she said that he left a lot of those for her.
20 total.
Yeah. So
And in the recording, you can see like him knowing that she was gonna be better than him.
Mhm.
right. I think that so far the best part of the show is we are getting to see pretty much what Attack or Clone Wars was, which was
Mhm.
pretty much their interaction between both of them. And we're getting to see that here, and it picked up where it left off.
Yeah.
So that's always good to see.
I feel like it also kind of like it closes out Anakin's character in a nice and neat little bow. Like he made peace with Obi-Wan in the Kenobi show, and now he made peace with Ahsoka essentially in the World Between Worlds. And they talked about what needed to be talked about, and she finished her training, which I'm assuming it's also something that she felt like, you know, we started it, never finished it, and then everything went to shit, and then you became something dark, and so I don't
I
know.
don't
I
think
feel
she ever felt like a Jedi.
yeah,
Obviously, she said it. She said it before, but
I
yeah,
am no
that was part of
Jedi.
it. Right.
yeah.
That was part of it too.
Right. But the thing is, to the point that Lola just said, that he moved on from Obi-Wan, and then he moved on now from Ahsoka. We got to see Darth Vader take over in Kenobi. That was the turning point where Darth Vader completely took over. Anakin was at that point dead. Because obviously, we knew he was dead because he was Darth Vader already. But at that point, when Anakin says, "I killed him," I killed
Mhm.
Anakin Skywalker. At that point you knew he was not coming back. But then we get to see the opposite now, which we get to see the balance of the Force. So we are. I hope my next statement comes true.
Which is
I hope that episodes 7, 8, and 9 get reconned. Like, they did not need to happen. The reason is, the reason I say that is because it looks like Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau have a different mentality. They
I didn't.
they want to start bringing in Legends continuity, which
Wait,
Disney said no. But
We start
Disney
to see
Disney kind of let Jon Favreau do what he wanted to do with the MCU, and it restarted a franchise, and they're trying to do the same with Star Wars. And there's no one better to do that than Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. And I think that if they want to retcon episode 7, 8, and 9, these people are the best ones to do it, because the original story of 7, 8, and 9 was not what we saw when we got. The original story was supposed to be a story of Luke Skywalker and Leia trying to rebuild the Jedi Order. We got a big jump. It was supposed to be 15 years at the most, because it was supposed to be the struggles of them trying to find Force users and rebuild the Jedi Order, to build an academy to teach, and we see that with Grogu.
Kind of, yeah.
because that's when you can see that he's starting to build that his temple again. And what Luke Skywalker did in The Last Jedi, which is attack Ben Solo, turning him into Kylo Ren, Luke Skywalker would have never done that. Because he was so compassionate. The Luke Skywalker that we got to see was so compassionate that gave his father a chance to become Anakin Skywalker again. But he couldn't give his nephew a chance.
That's true.
So the directors that we got for those movies, they said, you know what? Screw you. Screw the story. Screw Luke Skywalker. Because even Mark Hamill said no. This was stupid. I'm glad that I died then. So, and even Harrison Ford said, I'm glad that Solo Han Solo is dead because the story makes no sense.
I think Huyan said something in this episode that alluded to that, and I can't recall what he said, and I am kicking myself for it right now.
Man.
He said something along the lines of like something for the future, but it was completely different. What they were doing was completely different to what we got in the sequels.
Mhm.
So I'll have to rewatch it. I'll put it on the Discord.
Yeah, the sequels they weren't okay. Now looking back, seeing what the potential was with these new shows that we're getting, now I am upset with what we got with the movies. But back then when I was watching the movies, I'm like, hey, it's a continuation of a story that we need closure on. We've seen 6 movies of these already. Let's close them out. Okay, now we got 7. Okay, 8. Okay, close out in 9. Perfect. And Rey, I'm not going to say it. Rey
Skywalker.
I almost said it. Rey, she was not a bad character at all.
I think she had more potential than
I
what they
agree.
gave her,
That's
though.
the thing. That's the thing. It's not that she was a bad character. It's that it was not developed well enough.
Correctly.
Yes. And Finn should have been developed more. He should have
Mhm.
been what the original storyline was for episode 7, that he was supposed to come out and say that he had powers. That he was force sensitive.
And that's why he could use the lightsaber.
Correct. But they scratched that. And episode 7, they were completely apart. They weren't even together. Finn barely had a storyline other than trying to find Benicio del Toro.
What was his
So-
character? I forgot about that movie.
He's
The
a
collector.
thief.
Yeah, that's all I'm picturing. It's the collector.
He was a thief that also like worked with everybody. So the Empire or the New Empire, I don't remember what they called it, to be completely honest with you. And the good guys and whoever would give him money, he was a thief for them.
Right. It's
Mm.
like on what, part 3 of Ahsoka, the guy that was working for the Empire. The Empire.
Well, the Empire. Those people.
The
Yeah.
scrapyard.
Right. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because in episode 8, they say, do you think that this rich people only made ships for the Empire? Look at what they made. And it was everything for the rebellion, all the ships. So they were making ships for both sides, and they were cashing in on the war.
Yeah.
That's the same thing that the scrapyard was doing.
Also, real quick, going back to the episode, to part 7, we finally got a mention of Seb. He's training recruits, according to the conversation between Ezra and Sabine.
Which they barely had a conversation too. It was like
Yeah.
they were having a conversation, all of a sudden got interrupted by Ahsoka. I'm just what I'm saying.
And then by the wolf horse thingies and people.
Right. Those little turtle people.
I love them. I
Yeah,
love them so much.
Every
Batman.
time they introduce something like a cute character, it wins everyone's hearts
Mm-hmm.
because they introduced Babu Freak. That he was amazing. They introduced Grogu. He was amazing. They introduced the Porgs, the Ewoks,
The Borgs.
like all these cute small characters that were barely important. Obviously, not Grogu. He's main.
Main guy.
Yeah,
For the story, yeah.
but everyone else was not important to the story. They were just side characters that were just there for like comedic relief. Because at the end of the day, that's what the Porgs were. And
What made
Babu
me
Freak.
laugh? What made me laugh on this one? It's like, they're running away in those like super fast, ships or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought they were gonna come out with guns. He comes out with a
With a slingshot.
Slingshot.
slingshot, and then at one point, like this, one of the bad guys is like next to one of them, and he hits him with a little pot.
He
Yeah.
throws the
That-
pot at him.
That just made me laugh
Yeah.
so hard.
Yeah.
It- Not that funny, but it was to me.
Yeah.
No, I laughed.
Yeah. I like also that they kept coming out of their little like vehicles and Ezra kept pushing them and like, get in there.
They're so worried about him.
Yeah.
You
They're
can
cute
tell they
as
had a
hell.
good relationship, though.
It's
Yeah.
funny because they're so worried about him, and he's the one that can save them.
Yeah.
Right? They're peaceful people. I like how they call him. He calls them people.
Yeah.
Yep.
'Cause I was like,
I lost. Oh, give me a second. Fucking Christ. No, Ezra. Okay.
He's Moses.
Moises.
Moises. Also, is there any way for like a Jedi to be like split between two?
Explain yourself.
Like, you know how, for example, like Ahsoka, like she has when she was a gray Jedi, she wasn't light or dark, she was just in between. Like, can you split them to be so that there's an Ahsoka that's white and an Ahsoka that's dark?
Black. You hesitated. I saw you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, is that a thing in Star Wars lore?
Well,
I
we
don't-
see
I've never
it
seen
in
it.
episode 9 with Rey. It's more in her head, but
Right.
we
but it's
see
in,
it.
But it's in her head. The
I
reason why
understand.
it's just I feel like Enoch I feel my theory is that because Ezra seems a little bit I love him, he's a great character, but he seems a little bit shady. It's not like when we see reunions in other movies or TV shows. It seems very like there's something that we're missing, and I think we're gonna get caught off guard with it. And it just seems like I don't know if you were stranded with the enemy for 12 years, I feel like the enemy could do enough damage for you to turn to the dark side.
Maybe
I
they
agree.
clone him.
Maybe they cloned him. Maybe that's how they have like all the extra stormtroopers. So I don't know.
Can
It
you
just
imagine
feels
they're
like
all him?
No, I
oh
was supposed to say that.
well. I saw a theory. I think I sent it through the Discord right after we finished our last episode that it said that maybe we're getting zombie clones, and that would be fucking cool. And it would make sense because the witches are there.
Yes, and I also heard a theory that what if Thrawn was dead and the witches are the ones that brought him back to life because they needed his help? He was the only person that can get them back to Dathomir because they wanted to go back.
Oh, That's
So-
a good theory.
and that both Ezra and Thrawn were dead, but they couldn't revive one without the other.
Right. So my thing is like, it seems like Ezra in a way is incomplete as they're showing it, just because we don't have all the details or all the variables with him and what's happened in those 12 years. I'm just wondering if Enoch is the dark version of Ezra.
Right. That could be. That will
We'll
break
see.
the internet.
Yeah.
One thing also that I realized was when Thrawn found out that Ahsoka was Anakin's apprentice.
He shit his pants.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
well,
was like,
ye-
I gotta rethink this strategy.
well, yes, because he knows who Anakin was.
Mhm.
Right.
Out of the Empire, him and the Emperor were the only ones that knew who Darth Vader was. So
Definitely charted.
yeah, no, definitely.
Another thing that we get to see in this episode is the way the general or Grand Admiral works, the way his mind works. It's very like strategic, and obviously you have to be strategic if you want to make or want it to be or have a high title on the Empire. But still, it's like it's so baffling to see how he's like moving everybody like they're chess pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's his only power, though.
Right.
Yeah.
He gotta defend himself somehow.
Yeah.
If he doesn't
That's
have,
true.
He's got to use his brain. Well, and towards the end of the episode, we see him
I thought you
saying
said tortilla.
tortilla,
tortilla.
tortilla, bacalaitos. Towards the end of the episode, we see him
Beautiful.
say, "Yeah, well, Ahsoka lost the one thing that she needed the most, which was time, because now they have everything they needed to go back. So
Yeah,
we'll
because they
see
were
what
packing up
happens.
stuff, but they
Yeah.
never showed anything else.
So we'll see what happens from that.
Oh, the cameo that we seen in this episode.
Oh, which is funny.
An important one.
I forgot that to mention it, and that is literally the thumbnail of the episode. Lola, who?
Who? 3PO,
C-3PO.
our beloved golden boy.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Literally. He came in to save Hera.
Fuck shit up.
Yeah, to save Hera because she was about to get
Suspended.
her ass handed to her. They were gonna take her rank away and probably throw her in prison for treason, which I'm still a little that senator is a little shady.
is a little
Yeah.
shady. Yeah.
So he's on my watch list. And all of a sudden 3PO comes in.
For the Empire.
All of a sudden 3PO comes in and says, "I have a message from Senator Leia Organa." And I'm like, "Yes." and you can tell that what's her name? The main senator? I don't
The
remember
lady.
her name. The lady. Yeah, she's so happy about this.
Yeah.
So
She's
like,
trying to compose
Thank
herself.
God. Yeah. I also liked how was it Hera or the senator that told him he was doing a good job or that he did a great job, and he's like, "Thank you. It's part of my programming."
he's so funny. Like all these droids they have their own personality.
They really do. Also, Chopper in the back just like talking shit.
He wanted to punch that motherfucker. You see that?
Yeah.
He's like, "Are we just
like,
gonna
"What'd he
take
say?"
the word of a droid?" And
He's like,
Chopper
"I'll
just
fuck
got
you up,
pissed.
motherfucker."
Jobber got pissed.
Gotta hold him and
Choppers are
everything.
ride or
Don't talk
die.
about 3PO like that.
Yeah.
We go way back. We're from a gang.
I love Chopper so
Yeah.
much.
And it's just funny because you see 3PO and he just looks like he's clueless.
Mhm.
His face just makes him look like he's clueless. Just look like, what are
Yeah.
you doing? I'm asking
So
myself, what the fuck are you doing?
I've seen this like theory that Shin is that one character in the newer episodes. It's the female stormtrooper that is like all metal.
Oh, Phasma?
Yeah. That somehow she lost her touch with the force and she ended up there.
Being a
You
stormtrooper.
can see her shields and like her armors and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like that.
I can see it, but also Plasma is like 7 feet tall.
She's a tall lady.
She is.
Gwendolyn Christie, our Lord and Savior, she's a tall lady.
But
She's in
you
Game of
know,
Thrones.
you
She's
you
in
said
Game of
that you
Thrones,
don't care
yeah.
about the height of the characters and stuff. So you either
Yeah.
No,
like
but
you
she's
either care
in
about it or
real
you
life,
don't.
she's a tall lady. I'm
You
saying
care about it or you don't.
you should see her in
I care about it.
in real life. I'm talking in real life. Whenever she's next to any cast members, it's fucking fantastic to watch because she'll just pass by them and she's over here and the cast members are like over here.
I don't know who
She's-
the actress
she's-
was for that.
She's like
Gwendolyn
6'7".
Christie.
I don't know
Yeah,
her.
she's tall as hell.
Have you
She's
ever
in Game
seen
of Thrones.
Game of Thrones?
No. Is she the one in Wednesday?
She's also the one in Wednesday, and
Okay.
she's in the Sandman show.
That's
I think she plays
Wednesday is the only
Lucifer.
place I've seen her.
Okay.
I don't follow much of a actor. But anyways, that's the theory I saw about that character. But also Ahsoka almost got her to like stay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'll train you, you know? But maybe that will happen.
Yo,
Who knows?
Sabine would have been pissed.
Yeah.
It's like, it took
She
me
stabbed me.
forever. It took me forever to get you to train me. She stabs me and you want to train her. Exactly why.
The funny thing is, the internet's like making it out to be like there's a lot of sexual tension between Shin and Sabine. Because every
There
time they
is.
look at each other, they just like stare.
Yeah,
Just
I can see that.
heavy eye contact.
That's why I'm telling you that I think that they're going to erase episode 7 and 8 and 9 because they're focusing so much on this group that it's obviously not there in, well, they're obviously older too back
Yeah.
when that happens, but what if they erase that? Here's a very hopeful theory. What if they erase that and they bring Cal Kestis into the mix?
Dude.
And then we get an Ahsoka, Cal Kestis, Sabine, Ezra Bridger movie.
That'd be really cool. And like if that could also start a new Jedi Order or Jedi School, because now you have
will-
Ahsoka. That's a senior Jedi, technically speaking. We're not going to talk
Speckin'.
about the fact we're not going to talk about the fact that she's not a Jedi, according to her. And then you have Ezra that trained under Kanan, which was so he's like mid tier, let's say. And then you have Sabine and Shin. Like you already have
and
enough.
Luke.
And Luke, you already have enough people to like finish learning and finish their training and then start teaching.
Well, that's the thing. If they start the Jedi Order, it doesn't matter if Ahsoka is or not a Jedi because she will be because it's her rules.
That's true. She could rebuild the right way.
I really, 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 Dave
Should be like-
Filoni.
This is the way, guys.
Yep. Dave
Yeah.
Filoni, you've done it before. Not you personally, but it's been done before where you retcon complete series of movies. Just get rid of it. We don't want it. The whole entire fan base doesn't want it.
It's not like they're gonna lose money because they already got the money.
And it's not
Yeah.
like people
They're
are
gonna keep him in Disney Plus anyways.
right. The only it might just help because then they'll bring new movies and the next generation or this generation that watch that trilogy are gonna show their kids, hey, do you see this this trilogy that you got now? This was the original trilogy that we
Mhm.
got. And then watch it again.
They're gonna be like, this is Universe 313,
Yep.
and then this is another universe
It's that galaxy far, far away, Yadi.
far, far, far away.
Far, far, far away.
So yes.
Yes.
Do you guys have
Beautiful.
anything else in this episode?
No, good episode.
Yeah.
We're wondering where Balin is gonna go.
Yeah.
We'll see.
He's a mystery.
He's in seek of something
Mm-hmm.
else. Still, we don't know what.
Yeah, but what is he right? What is he seeking in this planet?
We
Was
think he's
this his-
seeing something in this planet?
Well, he had to get there. And
Yeah,
now he's
I
acting
thought
all
the whole
shady.
You
point
think he
was
wants
catch
to
his
stay though?
Thrawn.
I understand. What if he just doesn't like maybe he had his own agenda? Because I don't think that he was seeking for Thrawn. He was hired to help Morgan to find Thrawn.
And he told Shin,
Yes.
like, you pick your way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's like, bye.
pretty much.
So there's something there.
There's a lot of variables that from different characters that we still don't know. We don't know Shin. We don't know Balin. We don't know Ezra's deal. We don't know the full extent of Thrawn's plan. We don't know Enoch.
Are we getting
And
one more or two more episodes?
I think it's two more.
I thought I think they always go to 9. No?
Some do 8. I think Boba Fett did 8.
And Kenobi did 10. So
Right.
let's ask this guy.
Dr. Google it.
Yeah. Oh. It's only 8.
Oh shit.
So next week is the last one.
All right.
That's
Season finale.
sad.
So that one we should
That
do
was
on
quick.
Tuesday.
That's
Mhm.
crazy.
Justin, if you are
It's-
listening, make sure you are good to go. I
Yeah,
hope
because
you're
like
alive, 'cause I haven't heard from you all day.
Loki is starting on the 6th. I mean, yeah.
Ooh.
So we literally
We're
end one and start one.
gonna be busy next week.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Fun
Yay.
times.
All
It's
right.
a good era to be a nerd.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. All right. Do you guys have anything else?
All good.
All righty. All right, guys. Let's see. Let's start with this. If you found everything that you heard here today interesting, or you like how we broke down things, make sure you hit that like button and that subscribe button if you are listening on YouTube. If you're not listening on YouTube, make sure you watch us live recording. They're always fun. We always mess things up. Everything that you hear at the end, at the final episodes are well edited.
Yeah,
We
live
fuck-
is a fucking train wreck.
Yes, all the time. And make sure you go on our website, thenerdarchive.com, to find all of our episodes. If you don't want to search for them on Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, you can find them all on our website. And make sure you check out our merch. All the designs on there are created by us, and it helps to continue growing. So make sure you get yours before they go away. Make sure you find us on all social media, and they're all in our description down below or on the website. So,
And since Justin is not here,
Click all the things.
yes, you did
Beautiful.
it. That was beautiful.
beautiful.
All right. On behalf of Justin, Ryan, Yadi, Lola, and my name is Louis. Thank you guys for damn, I didn't say that in the beginning of the episode. Don't worry about it. Thank you guys. See you next week. Deuces.
Okay, bye.